Alrighty. Hello and good morning, Cindy. How are you?
Good, and I'm good, and you?
I'm doing amazing. I believe I'm frozen on your end, so I apologize for that. Hopefully it adjusts itself here, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna go ahead and just shut off my camera to avoid any distractions.
Uh,
But I believe I'm back now, so let's jump into it. Cindy, we've been having some great conversation, yesterday and then this morning as well. So I want to continue that.
Okay.
Um, if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Well, I started out with Ron John's Porta Potty. There,
Mhm.
I accounts receivable. I did payments for the services that we provided. I did payroll. I scheduled the trucks to go out and come back in. And that was
Mhm.
pretty just that one. And then
Mhm.
diesel technician for the department works. That was more of a customer service job. I did payments for the water company, received them, was over the phone with any complaints that any of the clients had between the water and the trash department there. Um, we reconciled books there with the payments and late payments and made phone calls to clients, multitask, very multiple phone lines at once. From there, I went to domestic animal services where basically I did everything. I was administrative assistant to the director there. I scheduled meetings, appointments. I did advisory board meetings. I did payroll. I did HR, any onboarding with any of our new employees that came on. I did all the onboarding for that. I did customer service there when needed because it's a team organization. Even though you are in one position, if we are low on another position with call outs, then somebody jumps in and helps. So
Amazing.
the customer service we did upfront, we did payments. Um, I did sewing of the payments there. Our because you're adopting animals in, so we're receiving payments from the adoption. If you get a citation from your animal, we receive payments for that. So at the end of the day, I would close down all everybody's registers, do all the reconciliation on that. In the morning, go to the bank, do bank drops. I helped with the maintenance on the vehicles. If the vehicles need to be maintained, I kept track of them on the Excel sheet, where they needed to go, when they needed to go. Um, we have a pet angel. It's euthanization of animals. So I actually dealt with that and helped organize when they need to be picked up and what was picked up at the time. Um, Gosh, I did so much there.
I
Literally.
can tell. I can tell, and you said some amazing things that stood out to me. One, it was where you mentioned that in the case that you guys were either short-staffed or in the case that you needed to support another department or another position, that you were willing to jump in and really just be of support to any other position where, again, they needed that support. So I love that you were open to that and you jumped in when needed or where needed it was needed. On top of your experience, right? I heard some key things that you mentioned, that you were there assisting administratively, helping with procurement, helping over with the payroll, onboarding and everything else. So definitely sounds like you had a great experience in that position. I want to, what was that?
I, Great. It was a really, really good position. But then new management came in and took over, and it got
Okay.
a lot.
I can see that. I was just going to ask you as well why you left, because I know you've spoken so highly about, the position and everything that you did there. So it's unfortunate to hear that there was a change in management. So I'm sorry to hear that.
There was a lot of us that end up just, it wasn't what we went into, what we loved to do. They just changed everything, was changing rules out of the blue. And there's some rules you can't change because of state
Mhm.
regulation. It wasn't our ethics. So, and I could not work there, them not using their ethics no more.
100%. I think that's major, right? Is knowing your values, ethics, and what you believe in. So, it takes a lot to leave a company that you love doing, that you love being at overall. So, hopefully we can get you back into an environment that you love as well.
That
Um, Yeah, absolutely. Cindy, and I want to know a little bit about some systems that you're familiar with using. I know you mentioned that you've done a few, as far as roles and a few, scheduling and all of that, recruitment, invoicing, and etc. So if you don't mind, can you share some systems that you're familiar with using or have used in the past?
In the past, I've used QuickBooks. I do apologize. I forget what
Mhm.
the pay were for my jobs,
That's
but
okay.
for domestic animal services, yes, I did Dolphin. I had a couple of systems. I'm good with Microsoft, Google, Excel spreadsheets, Outlook, calendar, Outlook, emails. Um,
Yeah, I think that's the standard, right? I think anything else would be variant on the client or the company, because I know a lot of companies have their own smaller systems. So
Now some people have the filing cabinet. I have experience with filing cabinet. So
perfect, perfect. Well, that sounds ideal to me. You definitely have, I would say, transferable skills, and if there's any system, I'm sure you'll be able to adapt with training too. All right. Well, a few more questions here and I'll wrap it up. But as far as any time off that you'll be needing the next 30 days, do you have anything pre-scheduled that we should know about?
no, I'm good. This is my only vacation until the second, May 2nd. And then good.
Yep. That's right. And let's go ahead and talk about that because I know we've discussed it, but just to have on the recording as well, you're going to be going on vacation today until Saturday the 2nd, correct? Right. Okay, perfect. And I know that you mentioned that, well, I mentioned to you that the start date for this client is going to be more or less, yeah, May 4th. So in about 2 weeks. During that time, of course, we want to get you scheduled for an interview. You're going to be on vacation. So we know that you can't attend in person. However, you're open to either a phone interview or virtual with them, correct? Okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I don't know if you're covering your.
Yes, correct.
Okay, wonderful. So hopefully, we can get that scheduled during your time off. If not, then we can go ahead and once you return on that Monday or Tuesday, hopefully we can get you in person and then get the ball rolling from there. So I appreciate you letting us know as well. But it's been great chatting with you, Cindy. So I want to just yeah, go ahead and wrap up the interview here. If you don't mind, though, stay with me on the line. I want to chat with you really quickly.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.